Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. Nothing like getting up and there's two stories that I want to cover right off the get-go. And depending on which one we got, it's going to be an interesting couple of days around here or week. The one that's more pressing right now is the tropical storm that's in the Gulf of Mexico. And started to pick up news on this yesterday because it affects me. It's like, all right, there's probably not a whole lot of people in Tennessee or Kentucky that do a whole lot in the way of hurricane preparedness, right? It's not like the ocean is that close to us. This one, we might have to. The tropical storm that will soon to be named Hurricane Helene is heading our way. And if you haven't been paying attention to this storm and you live in the southeast, it's time to prepare for this one. Right now, the storm is in between Cuba and Cancun. It's kind of split right up between the island and the mainland there. And it's looking to make a beeline right at the Florida Panhandle. It's supposed to hit the coast sometime Wednesday night, Thursday morning, when it'll all come in, as a Cat 3. Yeah. The issue is it might come in as a Cat 4, and the path of this thing covers the entire state of Georgia, the eastern half of Alabama, and boom, right on top of me. Now, not that I'm probably going to have to worry about hurricane force winds. I mean, by then it's covered, 400, 500 miles of land, and it'll be weakening. But I'm supposed to get 6 to 7 inches of rain. That's a lot around here. God knows we need the rain, though. I'm not going to complain about it. But it brings up a point of, what kind of hurricane preparedness do people around here have? Probably not much. Now, I don't think we're going to be in a situation where we need to board up windows or anything, but we're certainly going to see trees down. We're certainly going to see flooding. My guess is even here we will see power outages. It's funny kind of looking at the news to see who's covering this and who's not. Again, I'm going to give CNN credit because they're about the only ones of the mainstream media that's covering this at all. I mean, I'm looking on Fox, ABC, MSNBC, that sort of stuff. And they're covering Taylor Swift, and they're covering crime on Martha's Vineyard. And it's funny, the two stories that I look at that are probably the most concerning at this point are the hurricane and what's going on in Israel. And it's like the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil monkeys, because, Deaf, Dumb, and Blind, the Three Stooges, I don't know what the hell you want to call the mainstream media, but it's none of the stuff they are reporting is important. And you wonder if they've been told not to, because, oh my God, a devastating hurricane could be good for the election. I mean, I guarantee you there's some idiot somewhere in one of the campaigns who's hoping for a lot of devastation because, this will give us a chance to show how our candidate is sympathetic or something. Remember what I said yesterday. They don't care about the people. They just care about what's going to get them votes. But that's not the point here. So we are going into a big hurricane here in the next couple of days. Now, me and Mrs. P, we're pretty ready. Okay. We'll get strong winds. I may lose some trees. Possible. I hope not. I like the trees on my property. But if the power goes out, I'm taken care of. I've already got that one solved. Okay. Now, of course, if a tree comes down on my solar panels or something like that and crushes my house, yeah, that's a different animal. There's nothing you can do about that. Okay. But how many people do you think in the country right now? And again, remember what I say all the time about these things. Just because you live in Arizona, learn from this, okay? Hurricane's not going to come near you, but you can learn from this. But you get a chance to see what the response is. How many people do you think have backup power in Tennessee, in Kentucky, in Georgia, in Alabama, in the panhandle of Florida? Maybe a little bit more. They're kind of used to this. Probably not a whole lot. I'd venture to say less than 5%, and that's being generous. How many people do you think have backup water, or water put back? Because if the power goes out, for most people that means no municipal water, no well water. How many people have the ability to purify their water? How many people know? I mean, this is silly to ask this question. How many people in this country know which direction their house faces? I mean, I know mine faces west, okay? So if the storm's coming up from the south, and when you look at the rotation of a hurricane, which is the way the directions of the winds are going to come from, okay? You're looking at winds coming from the east, all right? That's the rotation of a hurricane. Okay, so the two sides that I've got to really worry about are the back of my house and one of the sides of my house. That's where the damage is most potential. But a lot of people don't know that. Use this as a lesson. For me, okay, this thing's not supposed to hit for us 72 to 96 hours before I'm going to see anything. Gives me plenty of time to do something. I don't know, get the furniture off the patio so it doesn't become a missile. Pick up any sticks, that might be around so they don't start blowing around and turn into a missile. I can't do anything about trees if trees fall, all right? I mean, I've cleaned my yard up pretty well from dangerous trees, but there's a lot of people that haven't. What do you look at? How can you protect yourself? Some damage is going to happen to a lot of people. I mean, millions of people here are going to be without power, without water, without a way to go to the store. How many people are all of a sudden today? It'll be interesting because Mrs. P and I are going to the grocery store today. It'll be interesting to see how busy the store is on a Tuesday, because now that we're in the path and 6 to 7 inches of rain, yeah, I'll bet the stores are pretty busy. It'd be interesting to see how picked over they are today. Learn from stuff like this. Think about a scenario if it happened to you. Those of you guys who have been around for a long time know I've said this many times. Just because it's not coming to your area, learn from it. See what the response is. Think about, okay, if this did come here, what problems did those people face, and how can I avoid it going forward? This is how you learn. Okay? Sometimes it's learning by doing, sometimes it's learning by watching. Am I going to board up my house? No, don't need to. Okay? But am I going to make sure that I've got everything that I need? Yeah, it's pretty much already taken care of. I mean, I don't need food if the store's shut down. I don't need electricity if the power goes out. I don't need water. I've already taken care of that. But how many people haven't? That's the thing to pay attention to, because now those are the people that are going to start panicking. And if something as little as, I'm saying this comparatively, little as a hurricane freaks people out, well, then we go into the second story that I'm following right now, and that's the potential for nuclear war. You think a hurricane's bad. If that one comes around, that's a little worse. But pay attention, watch what's going on with all of this. Hopefully it doesn't shut me down. We'll see what happens. But say a prayer for everybody down in the Southeast, because we're in for a wild ride the next few days. Have a good morning. We'll see you around lunch. Pinball out.